I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this model and a lot of you have been breaking in this model. I decided to buy this pair of shoes just to check how it works and to give my feedback about Adidas Spezial handball shoes. I'm not going to speak a lot about the materials because you can find many reviews on this model in YouTube, so I'm not going to repeat the same information. Just from what I see and what I feel is that this model is very flexible. Like the bottom of the shoes is super flexible, and that's really important for breaking, not to feel extra pressure in this part of the shoes. But from other side, the bottom basically doesn't give you any protection when you're breaking. So from my experience, when I break in these shoes for like 2 hours of practicing, my legs and my knees destroyed. Like I start to feel it right away at the end of the practicing, even maybe in the middle of the practicing, and then next day I feel like wow, like crazy. Let's say if to compare these shoes with the running shoes, I prefer running shoes way more because they give me effect of protection. What I really like is that they're super simple, but at the same time the quality of details are really sharp. So they're simple but in a good way, and that make this model looks stylish, you know, like the way how they look, especially with the a little bit baggy pants. I like this kind of look, but if you're gonna ask me if I'm ready to destroy my knees and my heels just because of the look, I'll probably say no. I prefer the shoes for walking, just for like 1 hour walk and then come back. Personally, for me, as I already mentioned, this part and inside the supporter, this part, I can feel it's kind of holding my bottom of my feet, but it's not enough for me. For some of you, it might be perfect model for breaking because they're pretty strong and it feels like they can stay in a good condition for a long time. I mean, you can see some scratches here, but it's already took some time, you know, like it didn't happen from the first practicing. But the rest of the material, of the fabrics, the bottom, like the protector here, everything looks really sharp and good quality. Laces also pretty cool. Of course, it's always personal choice, individual preferences, but from my experience, I can't recommend these shoes for everyday breaking because they're not protecting your feet and your knees. A couple words about the history of this model. So from what I learned, they were made in the early 70s for handball players. So that was the main purpose. They were made for the specific sport, which is called handball, and that's why it's mentioned here. In front you can read handball, right? Later on, football fans start to use them and they start to become popular and kind of fashion. I think that for many of you who, let's say, used to break in the shoes with the flat bottom, this model might be really good. But as I said earlier, pay attention to the way how you feel after the practicing in these shoes, how your knees react, and how you feel the next day after, let's say, 2 hours of heavy breaking practicing, because that's really important, you know, like shoes plays a big role in the way how our legs and knees working in the practicing. And if the shoes doesn't compensate the you know, like the pressure from the steps, from the footworks, from the jumps, from all the transitions, and everything goes directly to your body, and this like this part doesn't compensate that power, so it simply starts to destroy your joints and bones. So the model looks fresh, nice for walking as for me, but not for everyday breaking.